Hello, everybody. Zangetsu 134 here.
And Average Joe Squad.
And welcome to another randy episode of Remember the Hyphen, the show where we look at movie serials, newspaper funnies, and everything in between. And before we start, don't forget to buy some war bonds. Do it for the boys overseas. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to make any sort of racial slurs, because even though I'm making the joke about World War II, I'm not going to do that.
Randy, I thought your name was Adam. Who the fuck are you?
Anyway, in case you didn't know, we're looking at the somewhat fresh Justice Society World War II movie. I do apologize for us not watching it the moment it came out, but we haven't had time to record. So.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bullshit going on lately.
We've also haven't been trying to get time to film the next month coming up, which is long. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, when we reviewed Batman Soul of the Dragon, I almost forgot what that movie was called.
Fists of Fury?
There's a trailer with it for the Justice Society World War II movie, which him and I were stoked for because we love the Justice Society.
I love Golden Age shit, period.
Like, I may not know everything about the Justice Society, but I'm always excited when DC actually, like, gives a shit about the Justice Society.
Not to mention it was World War II, and I'm a history guy, so I'm like, damn, this is like two things I love. Fuck yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the Justice Society is the original, like, superhero comic book team. Like, it predates the Justice League, the Avengers, like, pretty much everything. I know some people have been like, well, what about the Invaders from Marvel? The Invaders actually didn't exist until, like, I want to say the 2000s, when, like, Ed Brubaker started, like, retconning stuff about Captain America from World War II. But yeah, basically the Justice Society was the first concept of a Justice Society team. And this is technically, like, some of the later Justice Society members in here. Like, yeah, they have Hourman and Hawkman, but, like, you don't see, like, Johnny Thunder or the Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott. But you do, but basically, the plot here is that during a routine battle with Brainiac and Superman, the Flash is accidentally pulled through some sort of strange anomaly, guided by the voice of what appears to be Dr. Fate. When he passes through the portal, he ends up in World War II and meets a superhero team he's never heard of, led by Wonder Woman. And basically, the plot is Barry's trying to get home while also helping the Justice Society fight World War II.
You forgot the awesome intro of Steve Trevor briefing fucking FDR.
Oh, I was
listen.
That was more.
I'm watching that, and I'm like, I see the cigarette thing, and I'm like, oh, it's FDR.
No,
Fuck
well,
yeah.
I was just kind of giving them more like just a summary before we really dive into what we like. But
so much of this episode, I'm warning you in advance, is just going to be me exploding because history.
No, I knew at the moment I was watching this, I'm like, oh, Colton's gonna fucking love this. I mean, I loved it. Like, I want to be right up front.
I was gonna like it, and then I watched it today, and I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome.
Before we really dive into...
I need more movies like this.
Yeah, no, before we really dive into it, I honestly want to just you to get... Because you watched it fresh today. I watched it a couple days ago, so I want you to kind of give, like, your fresh thoughts before we really dive into it.
I watched this and X2 back-to-back.
No, I don't doubt it.
Well,
I know you were crying about, like, ripped jeans or something like that.
My God, leave me the fuck alone. Listen, I wasn't prepared for that scene at all. And I knew it was coming. That's the worst part.
I thought it was Cyclops.
Fucking leave me alone.
We'll get there.
Anyway. So, I just want to say, prefacing, it's kind of adding to what you were talking about. Well, we saw the preview.
Yeah.
I was really stoked for it because, again, like, I have a master's degree in American history. I love World War II. I've always been fascinated by it and just the era. Mm-hmm. And comic books really kind of played an integral part in it, which I wrote a good deal of my graduate thesis about.
Yep.
About this.
I actually remember because I actually kind of helped you with that.
Yeah, you gave me some stuff, and I was like, I think I found some stuff even that you were like, what the hell?
No.
Where'd you get this from?
I mainly just gave you some ideas and, like, bounced off some stuff for you. I'm not saying, like, I was, like, a big help. I just remember I helped him a little bit.
Yeah.
That's not me being like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, so when... Like he was telling us earlier, when we saw that preview, I was like, holy fuck, I don't even care if this is shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be funny to watch for me, because if it's good,
I'm
going to like it. and I get to have history explosions about it.
Yeah.
If it's shitty, I get to rip it apart because historical inaccuracy.
And he'll have a
I
boner.
win either way.
And he'll have a boner the entire time either way.
But so overall, what was your thoughts about this?
Well, for one, I going into it, I knew it was going to be really fun. Especially because like I love seeing superheroes in World War II sort of things like this, just because it's always fun to see them like fighting against like the Third Reich, like because like that was what they were made for. Like a lot of them were like Cap, Wonder Woman,
I want to take
the Shield.
I want to take that scene in this film of Wonder Woman beating all those Nazis up and just
Oh
put
my
the
God.
only proper way to debate a Nazi.
Yeah.
It's fucking just beating him up.
Especially because going into this, this is actually what I expected of Wonder Woman 1, the original like live action one. But because like DC has this weird thought process of we can't do World War II because Cap did it. Like Marvel doesn't copyright World War II, guys. You could just have Wonder Woman punching Nazis. It would have been fine. None of us would have said anything. It's actually more hilarious to watch Wonder Woman fight Nazis, given how Nazis treat women. So you guys could have just done it and been like, yeah, I mean, yeah, they had Cap, but like we had a woman do it.
That same scene, I love when she throws the one dude. He just fucking
fucking
ping pongs off the buildings. I'm like, that dude's fucking dead.
Oh, then there's like
There's no telling me he's asleep.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is dead.
then there's like that scene where she like rips a tank open and pulls them out. It is if nothing else pure fun. I also didn't expect it to do a lot of references to a lot of really classic Golden Age stories. Like for one, this is pretty much just a straight up homage to the Flash of Two Earths, the original like cross multiverse comic, where like Barry is pulled into the Golden Age Flash universe and meets Jay Garrick. Like that is pretty much solidly what this is about. The only thing weird about it is how much they bring up the Speed Force in it, because I'm like, technically Jay never was attached to the Speed
I've
Force.
seen that movie.
It's a movie. But no, I was just honestly blown away by how much fun this movie was, and I'm honestly curious what we're going with as going forward with these new movies. If this is gonna like tie into other stuff,
Because I would love to see them do more Golden Age stuff.
yeah, I would love for them to
Give me a Golden Age Batman movie. I'd
Oh my
fucking
God,
pay
that'd
for
be
it.
so amazing, especially because spoilers, like they introduced Golden Age Superman in this. Like there's technically two Supermen in this universe because
Oh my God, he's got the OG costume.
he's got
I
the
was
OG
like,
costume.
Oh my God.
They referenced the fact that he lived his life in an orphanage because like the
As
Golden
soon
Age.
as they brought that up, I'm like, holy fuck, they actually
Yeah.
did the actual like original origin before it was retconned to hell and back.
I actually would be really excited if this leads into like Infinite Crisis or Crisis on Infinite Earths for them to do, where like we have like both Superman in it. Like you have like Golden Age Superman, like not like the CW one. I mean like they do like a 2-hour Crisis on Infinite Earths film where they like fight the fucking Anti-Monitor, and you have like female Dr. Light show up, and you have like Harbinger, and just like the ludicrousness of it.
Don't lie to me. You just want that so you can watch me cry over Cara dying.
She gets better.
Why you gotta hurt me like this?
She gets better. You act like she don't get better.
You picked that idea just to hurt me.
If we do Infinite Crisis, I have to watch Superboy die.
From the pile of
And that's-
ideas that could just fucking hurt me.
Motherfucker, you haven't seen me cry over fucking Superboy dying because Superboy Prime's a little bitch. Like, remember the hyphen? Superboy Prime is a little bitch.
One of these days, we're just gonna have a video where it's just sound bites of just random shit, no context.
No context. But no, I was really just blown away by like how well this was done. Like if I were to have any complaints of this film, and I do think the ending kind of falls apart just because like not like terribly so, but like it literally is all just set up for like Barry Allen needs to get over the fact that him and Iris need to get fucking married. Like, jeez.
I kind of had the same feeling that like I was really enjoying it, and then I feel like right around the time when the Aquaman got introduced, it kind of the war kind of being the central focus got kind of pushed to the background.
Yeah.
Because then the story just kind of peters out a little bit.
A little bit. Not terribly. Like, it's still enjoyable. Also, I could have done without Hawkman dying. I'm like, oh, because like we have to explain how he ends up in like the Prime universe, I guess. Although it was nice to hear Shia or how do you pronounce Cockrell's name? Shiera? Yeah, Shiera. Like that was.
It doesn't say on here.
Yeah, like that. Seeing Golden Age Black Canary being all sad, and then she uses her canary cry so hard she rips.
You call that a scream?
I'll give you a scream.
Yeah, that was.
No, oh my god! If you're a Black Canary guy like I am, this movie's perfect for her. Like,
I'm also gonna inject some actual history of this, because I think seeing this was the first thought I had, and I'm like, oh my god, Adam's gonna lose it when I bring this up. The bombers near the end, the Nazi ones, right?
oh yeah.
Those are actual design plans for the America bomber that Hitler was planning. It was going to be like a 6-engine bomber that was going to come over and bomb New York.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually pretty, pretty accurate.
Isn't that also what they based the plot of First Avenger on? Those two?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of Hitler's real ludicrous plans, was let's build this fucking huge bomber to bomb USA.
Which says something when one of his plans was to try and find Mjolnir, or the Spear of Destiny, or build a time machine. But,
just conventions me that dope was legal back then.
Yeah. So yeah, I also really I'm interested to see if we're gonna do like a Justice League movie after this, seeing as how like this pretty much makes
this is totally in line with Man of Tomorrow.
Well, that and like when Flash talks to Superman at the end, it clearly implies that they're gonna make the Justice League after this. So I wonder if that is what's gonna happen. I'm also thankful this doesn't have any tie into Justice League Apocalypse War. Because I'm like, oh god.
Well, because after Apocalypse, where Man of Tomorrow is the reboot. They rebooted it.
What I thought was going to happen, because I know they rebooted, I thought this was going to explain how the reboot worked by having Flash try and fix everything by time traveling again. I'm like, not another fucking Flashpoint. I don't want another fucking Flashpoint. I thought this was going to be like Flashpoint 2. Thankfully, they're just like, nah, we're ignoring all that. Reboot. Don't even worry. Relax. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I for one, I'm gonna second the don't do a fucking Flashpoint, because that idea is old. Do something else. I've already seen it.
Like, because like I don't want them to do that in live action either. Like,
yeah,
it's a fucking stupid story, and it wasn't even supposed to be a crisis. It was supposed to be just a Flash event, but then New 52 happens. So like, well, we'll just use that, and it shows because the ending is nonsensical. But all right, so you want to kind of like really dive into this then?
I mean, we can.
Okay. Real quick before we really talk about the history stuff, how'd you feel about Iris in this? Like, especially because like she's modeled after the CW Iris.
Adam, we are Flash.
Yeah, I'm so happy she did. Like, I can at least appreciate why she's annoyed with Barry, because like Barry's holding her at like arm's length because of like his fear of like his enemies hurting her. Which, don't get me wrong, I get why I'm with Iris, but at the same time, fucking Reverse Flash.
It was me, Barry.
I jerked you off at supersonic speed, so you thought you came at just a woman's touch.
I went back in time and let Hitler rise to power. It was me. Oh.
It was me, Barry. Jeez. I'm the one who took Lola Bunny's tits.
I like how this just descended into the Reverse Flash memes.
No, because, oh my god, fucking Reverse Flash.
It's a fucking joke.
I'm so tired of them being like, just using him for retcons. Like, I'm glad that they used him to fix Wally.
It was me, Barry.
Well, no, because like, at least when they used him to be like, no,
I was the one who suggested 5G. It was me.
Well, that and like, they were like, no, Barry, Wally didn't kill all those people in Heroes in Crisis. I merely made it look like Wally. I'm like,
stop.
No!
What fucking world does that make sense?
No, because they're like, well, now we have to make it like he's doing it to like he's the reason why every bad thing happens in Barry's life. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I barely care about Barry. Like, the Flash I grew up with was fucking Wally. I just want you to fucking fix Wally. Like, just fix Wally.
DC, you'll shut the fuck up and buy whatever we sell.
No, I fucking won't, actually. I'll actually not fucking buy it.
Oh, sounds like somebody doesn't want any movies or TV shows. In fact, you know what? We'll sell the comics.
You shut the flying fuck up. I'm already dealing with the fact that you changed Nightwing's name to Rick. until someone was like, "That's fucking stupid," and Warner Brothers was like, "You start fucking pulling your shit together."
This is DC.
Actually,
this is
wasn't
DC.
Warner Brothers.
He's my neighbor. He's fucking annoying.
Actually, it wasn't even Warner Brothers. It was fucking AT&T being like,
What is this?
"What is this?"
Oh, now Warner and Discovery merged.
Yeah. Maybe we can discover a way to make the fucking movies good.
That's called Marvel's just gonna buy it.
Probably not Marvel, Disney, but anyway. But yeah, no, what are your thoughts on Iris?
She was okay on this. Really just didn't care.
No, I was mostly just happy she wasn't as obnoxious as the CW show makes her, because my God. Like, I was like, this is the woman you want to be with, Barry? She's so fucking annoying. I still hate that fucking we're the Flash line. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, are you out there fighting the fucking sentient gorillas and giant sharks? Or the fucking 800 fucking speed villains that this show has? Like Godspeed?
You gotta remember, I haven't seen a single fucking minute of that show, and I own it on DVD.
No, oh my God. It gets to a point where, like, after, like, they did, like, all of his rogues, and after they did, like, Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, they just started doing more and more speed villains. And it literally is just, the plot is, like, he's a little bit faster than Barry, but Barry's the fastest man alive, so he just has to go a little bit faster. Like, I'm like...
Yeah, and so anyway, the film starts with that, and then we get a scene of Superman and Flash teaming up to fight. Which villain is that, by the way? Because I, for the life of me, can't remember that fucker's name. Is it Brainiac?
Yeah, that's Brainiac.
He looks so... I'm so used to the DCAU design. He looks so fucking weird.
Yeah, he looks like an old, gnarled man, which admittedly is kind of how he looks occasionally in comics, but 9 times out of 10, he looks like a buff motherfucker. Like,
listen, he hasn't been lifting lately. There has been a pandemic. Be understanding.
Oh my God. Like he tries all
Leg
these...
day was canceled.
Yeah. And I love it, like, Iris is like, go. And I'm like, well, yeah. Like, Superman needs help. Even with, like, not even Superman can do everything. That's why he gets Barry, who actually can do everything because he's so fast. Yeah, and,
so then we have this fight scene where Brainiac whips out some kryptonite because, bullets. Of course.
Yeah. And it's kind of trying to imply that, like, the Speed Force mixed with the kryptonite, I think, does this at first. But really, it's Dr. Fate. Like, Dr. Fate is, like, pulling Barry because he needs Barry to, I guess, help the Justice Society?
It's kind of a nonsensical part of the plot.
Well, I think it's more supposed to be implied that, like, Dr. Fate is trying to get the Justice League together for some sort of thing. Because, like, Dr. Fate technically exists in both universes. It's really weird. I actually kind of love it because, it reminds me of, I think, Infinite Crisis, where Barry's telling Wally to run. He's like, keep running, Barry. It reminds me a lot of that, where, like...
so you think that was on purpose? You think that was a reference?
Yeah, I think it's a reference when Wally gets pulled into the Speed Force and Barry tells him to keep running because they need to outrun the... No, actually, I'm thinking of Final Crisis, where he tells Wally to outrun the Black Racer. But, like, it definitely feels like it's either that or some other Flash story where he's, like pulled into some other universe and someone's telling him to keep running. It was really nicely done. We're also, I guess, once again, ignoring that technically Barry can only, like, time travel or change other alternate dimensions by using the cosmic treadmill. But, to be fair, like, only us nerds would remember the cosmic treadmill.
Let's be honest, DC's rules for shit are so fucking inconsistent.
Yeah, but and so basically, Barry is pulled into the alternate universe. At first they try to make you think it's an alternate timeline until Barry realizes. Well, he realizes Superman's here. He's like, holy shit! It's not a timeline; it's an alternate universe. Also, kind of explain because there's a big running plot point where Barry can't run very fast or he'll get winded. Because basically, him and Jay are using the same Speed Force. So, like, basically they can only run so fast. And then, of course, Barry ends up, running into Nazis. Which I love Barry. He's just like, Nazis? The fuck? And then of course
again, Barry debates a Nazi the correct way by punching him in the fucking face. So
they actually get, this is one of those movies where they actually show how cool Barry actually is. Like, cause he knocks the bullets away in super speed.
I love the one when he's running past the one. He's just like,
oh yeah,
he fucking bitch slaps him.
No, like they actually make Barry cool. Cause like a lot of the shows, like they'll just animate him as like a blur. Like here you actually see the speed, like him running from his point of view. So it's actually really cool, and you see all the different ways he can like use his powers. It's really neat. Like one of my other favorite parts of this is he teaches Jay how to do like the tornado arm move he does, where he can like to land the plane. Because Jay's like, you can do that, and then he shows Barry how to vibrate through walls, which was really cool, and I actually really love that because like that's one of my favorite things Barry can do.
Interplay, basically.
Yeah, and like you get to, like they actually teach each other stuff, like how Barry could like when they're in the submarine and the engine gets blown.
Let me show you how to jump start.
And he vibrates his hands to generate static electricity. I'm like, oh, like whoever wrote this clearly loves the Flash because they actually showed what like cool things Flash can do besides running really fast. And of course we also get to see the other characters like Hourman, who's hilarious because he's voiced by Matt fucking Mercer, aka like McCree from Overwatch and like Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, I've heard his voice in so many fucking things.
Is that a motherfucking JoJo?
I wasn't gonna bring that. I was just gonna bring that up for the people.
Is that motherfucking JoJo?
We can move on. I'm not gonna make any more
on my podcast.
I'm not gonna make any more. I just wanted to bring up the voice actor. What do you think of Hourman, by the way? I actually really liked him.
I really liked it. I don't know a whole ton about him apart from like there's a version of him in the Stargirl TV show.
Yeah, which I think he's technically the father, or actually no, I guess this would make him the grandfather, unless somehow Hourman has some sort of ability to like de-age himself, but I do not know. I'm pretty sure this would actually be like his grandfather.
Yeah, we see Jay, the original Flash, Black Canary, Steve Trevor fucking making a huge ass entrance in a fucking P-51. I was like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah, they actually make Steve really fucking cool in this movie.
I like how this is a nice touch. I know you probably picked up on this. When the plane settles, you can see all the swastikas on the side.
Oh yeah, where
all the ones he shot the
I did
fuck
see
down.
that. I'm like, yeah. No, it was great.
Also, he's got the picture of Diana in the cockpit.
The only way that could have been more hilarious is if he came in a fucking invisible jet. Like, I'm like, they could have just done that he's just borrowing Diana's jet. That would have been fucking amazing. But either or, it was awesome.
I'm going to say this, too. Diana's costume in this?
Oh, no. She looks perfect.
Oh, my God. It's legitimately Golden Age.
Well, that, like they got the costume right. They got her hair right. Like, she looks straight out of, All American Comics #8. Like, she looks amazing in this. And we're not getting... And while she is Golden Age Diana, she is not the secretary of the Justice Society like they made her out to be. She is kicking ass, taking names.
I like how they clearly referenced the movie too, the scene where she busts into the building. I'm like, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
This is a classic.
My God. Like, I don't even know, like, I love the Justice Society, but there are times where I'm like, do we even need the rest of you guys? Because Diana
is a one-man army, basically.
Yeah, no, like, good God, she just tears through them like tissue paper. And of course, we got Hawkman, who's like, I guess the second in command, because, I mean, honestly, he's probably the second most powerful member outside of, like...
We don't need to hear anything about Resurrection. I'm like,
oh, yeah, no. They're so tired of fucking Hawkman's bullshit.
Of you fucking talking about this.
I know. Which is going to be so weird if they do Hawkman in Justice League and he's a fucking Thanagarian instead of the I reincarnate bullshit. But, like, no, it's so fun.
Egyptians. You should be serious. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Which I do think it works really well because they can kind of tie like the ancient Egyptian stuff in with Atlantis and Aquaman.
Yeah.
So it's not as
totally odd.
Yeah. So but basically, Flash shows up and I love Diana. She's instantly like, "Are you with the Third Reich?" Like it's almost.
Do I have to put you on my list of shit to fuck up today?
Yeah. And I love how pretty much the whole movie she just calls him Future Boy because she's so fucking done. She's like. Already have one.
We already have one of those.
We already have one of those.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, her and Black Canary just give him all sorts of shit this entire fucking film.
How about the running gag of Steve? I'm gonna propose to Diana.
And she just turns him down every single fucking time.
He's upped his game. Flowers.
Flowers.
He's upped his game.
I love Barry. He's just like,
Am I really seeing this?
does this happen all the time? Yeah, what's a date? She turns him down every single fucking time. It's kind of pathetic, really.
Let me make an honest Amazon. You're like, Jesus Christ, man, really? You're pulling that classic out of there?
Yeah, no, oh my god. And then of course we find out that after a good day of killing Nazis, taking scalps, the Inglorious Bastard sort of thing. We of course have them at their tent, and they're basically getting told that like the Nazis are planning some sort of attack on the East Coast. They're not sure what.
Again, America bomber.
Yeah, well, before the America bombers come, there's something to do with the Bermuda Triangle, which of course leads to Aquaman.
Oh yeah, we're dealing with one of my favorite history subjects: occultism with Nazis.
But before all that, they have to rescue somebody from a Nazi Wolfenstein castle, which I'm sure that actually is accurate. All I can think of was
they had a couple like that.
All I can think of was when we got to that castle, I'm like, yes, yes, the Wolfenstein portion of our film, which I'm not against. Like, if I could have heard one of them Nazis going, my Leben, I would have been happy.
Which, listen, when they showed all the torture rooms and shit, and
yeah.
I saw the teeth, I'm like, I'm having flashbacks to some really disturbing shit I've read.
I'm like,
I reaffirming that every time I see a Nazi get beat up on screen, I'm having a good fucking time.
I mean, thank God it was like, I'm like, thank God this is like PG-13. I'm like,
oh God, this has been rated R.
No, I'm like, oh God, I don't need to see like Auschwitz and shit. Can we like, I know that's history, but we're having a good time.
We dealt enough with that next man.
We dealt enough with that. We're having a good time. Move on. But basically, them and this guy that works with them named Shakespeare, which subtle. They infiltrate this castle. I actually love that there's a really cool scene where Jay and Hourman have developed these like basically earpieces that run on Morse code.
Quantum physics, which really should be studied.
Yeah. No, him and Hourman just being
That's the two scientists here.
Yeah, no, they're just like there's a whole world of study we should be. And meanwhile, Wonder Woman's like, we don't have time for that.
We don't have time for this shit.
But I love it. They make like little mini like Morse code transceivers, which would kind of be like the Justice League earpieces, and like they basically tap in Morse and like they can talk to each other, which I thought was really cool. And of course we have like all this interplay stuff where literally most of this movie is just the theme about like you shouldn't wait for love, which I'm like, that's great and all. But I'm kind of busy wanting to see, like, the Nazi stuff. Because not only do we have that with Diana and Barry, we also get Hawkman and Dinah talking about it.
I'm here to watch Nazis getting absolutely fucking demolished.
Yeah, like, because, like Hawkman's like, I'm not worried. I'll see her at some point, even if I have to die again to see her. And, like, but you, Dinah, you only have one life. You should be with that guy. Implying, she's going to give birth to the other Dinah. Which I know a lot of people are like, but isn't Dinah's name Dinah Lance? I'm like, it's complicated because technically...
Hashtag comic books.
Sometimes, like, there's a Golden Age Black Canary. Sometimes there's not. It just depends on if the Justice Society exists on their own Earth or they existed in the traditional DC Earth. It's weird. But so basically, they of course find this guy that will help them figure out what the coordinates lead to. It's of course Dr. Fate. This part was weird for me. Like, they somehow managed to get his helmet off and torture him, and I'm like, how? Like, Dr. Fate is like the Sorcerer Supreme of the DC universe. Like, there's very few things that can actually fuck Dr. Fate up.
They opened up the arc, obviously.
Of course, I see. But then basically, like, the dude starts flipping out, and like he can barely understand anything they're saying. And of course, we get some like lines like, "No, you can't tell them about the League," which I'm like, I see what we're doing here.
Yeah,
we're setting up for a Justice.
Once I heard that, I'm like, okay, they're all sitting there talking. I'm just basically like, you shut up, and me looking at you keep talking. Keep talking.
But eventually, Hawkman's able to get him to like look at the, I guess the bearings. They figure out it's the Bermuda Triangle, and so they get a sub. Because Steve can just pulls shit out of his ass because he's working with the government.
Also, we get a setup for Golden Age Superman.
Oh yeah, because like this, he manages to rescue somebody, and the Nazis just start firing on Shakespeare, and the bullets bounce right the fuck off him. So I'm like, who?
Who the fuck are you?
But then I was like, oh, Superman got pulled in here too, but he got amnesia somehow. And then it's revealed that he's actually Golden Age Superman because Dr. Fate's like, you need to pull your head out of your ass, Clark. We need you to win this war.
The only thing I am disappointed at is that they did not use the actual Golden Age explanation for it. Was because I don't know if you know this. So during the lead up to the war, it was either Time or Life actually ran an article saying, here's how Superman could win the war.
Oh, okay.
And they would dive into like, he could do this, he could just fly the fuck over there, punch Hitler, and bam, it's done. So DC read this and they were like,
As DC's
what they did was they had him, he signed up, he went to enlist. And he fucked up the eye test because he read the one on the opposite side on the other wall.
Oh, yeah, I do know that one.
And so they were basically like, you're as blind as a fucking bat. You ain't going nowhere. So they sent him back, and he basically kind of realized, like, I could be more help here at home on the home front. And I'm disappointed they didn't do that. They kind of did a little bit of that where he's like, you got to do things to yourself.
Yeah. Because, like, Ma and Pa Kent didn't exist for him.
Yeah, so, like, I kind of wish they had gone with that, was that because the idea that he fucked up the eye test is the funniest shit to me.
Yeah, that would have been pretty hilarious. But basically, because, like, Barry, like, kind of recognizes him, except for some reason he can't figure out who Superman is because of a fucking mustache. But then again, no one can figure out who Superman is with the fucking glasses, so I guess it's just in canon.
Reporter.
Superman Superman reporter. that would have been hilarious.
Never once did anyone think there'd be a Perry the Platypus fucking reference on this show. Hyphen.
But we found a way. And so basically, Superman is just like, no, fuck all you. And technically, this Superman would technically be spelled. His name would be Kal-El without an E, because that's how you differentiate the two.
Does that mean DC needs to give me a fucking Power Girl movie already?
I mean, they might.
They might now.
If we make a Justice Society 2, maybe that's what we'll get. And technically they did have Power Girl. They had her in Batman Superman, but she's not really important.
I don't count that.
No, I just shouldn't, because she's not really important to that movie. But so basically they, get on a submarine, and they're suddenly attacked by German boats setting depth charges down to try and...
Probably destroyers.
I wasn't sure what boats they'd be. I almost said U-boats.
I'm also not a naval expert by any means, so take whatever I say about naval shit with a grain of salt.
They looked like destroyers. I could believe that. And so the sub gets hit. I think they also fight some German subs too. But basically, they're sitting ducks. So Diana's like, I'm going to get into a torpedo, and I want you to fucking launch me.
Which
I'm like,
okay. Solid plan here.
Well, because Diana apparently doesn't need to fucking breathe underwater. Which, I mean...
Well, no, she's made of clay.
Actually, yeah, she is. Because this is
clay. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, technically... Oh, my God.
We're not going to dive into the
because I hate how fucking complex people make that origin. My only thing I'm going to say here is...
Comical.
She was magically made into a fucking real baby. By the gods.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. It's not like she's a golem.
And she's like, starts fucking launching depth charges back.
I'm like,
yes.
Yeah! And then Atlanteans show up.
When they did, I was like, oh, right, I forgot Aquaman.
It was in this movie
too.
I did too.
I forgot
I was like,
in this.
all right, Atlantis.
Listen, things I never expected in my life to see was fucking Aquaman doing a Heil Hitler. I was like, my God.
So
I looked at that, I'm like,
yeah, that was...
DC, why'd you do this to me?
It's okay, though. We'll explain that away. So basically, after this big fight, the Atlanteans lead the submarine with the Justice Society to, like, this, I guess, the palace? Whatever it is.
It's a backdoor entrance.
Backdoor entrance.
It's for when he's having affairs.
Yeah.
That's a fucked up reference, I know.
And I wouldn't want to have affairs with comic book Mara.
Let's be fair. Mara's just gonna fucking kill somebody.
Mara will literally drain the water out of Arthur's body and kill him that way because she's a fucking waterbender. And so we are, the Justice Society are introduced to Aquaman, King of Atlantis, and it's this weird guy that's like manipulating Aquaman. I'm sure it's an Aquaman villain, but I don't know enough about Aquaman to know who the fuck it is.
Listen, the only thing I wanted out of this movie from Aquaman, I didn't get where he fucking inflates himself into a huge wall.
Damn it, no! None of that fucking weird Golden Age bullshit.
I remember, for those who don't know, I follow a page on Tumblr called like Just Comic Book Things.
Yeah.
And they posted this couple pages from an Aquaman comic where it's like he stops a tsunami by just fucking inflating himself
like a wall.
It's the stupidest looking thing. And I sent it to him, and he's like, "This is why nobody takes
Aquaman seriously right fucking here." And I know Superman's also shot rainbow clones out of his fingers.
Remember, Riley was like, "Adam, what is so wrong about stopping a tsunami?"
I'm like, look, man, there's plenty of ways.
The look
Aquaman.
On his face was the best part because he has the funniest looking expression.
He's just like, but basically,
Adam inflating himself to not deal with my bullshit.
But basically, at first Aquaman seems to be really wanting to help them, even though he's like, I worry about the oceans, and Diana's like, yeah, that's great, but if the Nazis win, they're gonna rule over everything, and so Arthur's like, that's true.
You made a good point.
They also kind of reference, I think they want to imply that Arthur and Diana are like cousins, because like he brings up like something happened to Themyscira. So I want to say I think it's implied that the Nazis wiped Themyscira out in this universe, which
how?
Yeah, I'm like, I guess the gods were like, you bitches are on your own. We got to worry about Wendy here. But basically, first they think they're getting help, and then Aquaman traps them because he's being mind controlled by this weird wizard dude that I have no idea who he is. I wish I knew. But basically, he's manipulating Arthur by using his mind control powers to make him use his magic trident, which I didn't know was actually magical.
I knew that.
I mean, I knew it had like, it was like really powerful and like made out of like nth metal. I didn't know it had like special powers, but
I knew that. Again, I read that somewhere.
Again, not an Aquaman guy, so apologies. And so basically, he wants him to open this door in this place called the Depths, I think is which is reference to a New 52 story that was actually really, really solid. Only instead of these weird fish Atlantean monsters, it's a fucking kraken. He's like a fucking kraken and like a giant stingray flying monster and giant enemy crab. Like, it was awesome. Which, as someone who loves Clash of the Titans, I'm like, oh! Is he gonna pull out a kraken? He's gonna pull out a kraken?
Listen, I was just here for the Wonder Woman Aquaman fight because holy fuck.
That
was actually really cool.
And also probably even better than the fucking Flashpoint version, because at least here it's not fucking annoying. And because, like, Diana wouldn't bang Aquaman, or Aquaman's like, nah, Mara's way better than you, Diana.
Stop bringing shit from that movie up, because I don't like that
No, because here
movie.
it's great, because Aquaman's being mind controlled, and Diana has to stop him. It's not a stupid reason for them to fight. It's actually a good reason for why they're fighting. Like, it's not like shitty, like, melodrama bullshit. It's really good.
Yeah.
And so they're trapped, but then the Flash has come up with a plan. And he's like, Barry, I'm going to vibrate you through the floor, and then you're going to get us out. Which he does. And it's awesome. And so basically
I will never yield.
I will never yield. Oh, God.
That guy fucking gets annihilated.
No, I'm sorry. That guy's fucking dead. like if you were hit that fucking hard, like your brains bounce off your fucking skull.
Hits him like he's one of those fucking arcade things. It's like
that's like how I imagine what happened to Dick after he basically like won up Wally when he was leaving the Teen Titans. He's like, I'm gonna go and get myself a new costume, and so Wally just zoomed at super speed and like just started using his testicles as like a medicine ball. It's like, you know, Dick is just having a conversation with like Corey, and then all of a sudden he's just like, "No, baby, I'm just leaving so I can get a new costume."
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so we get this. We arrive back at the East Coast.
Yeah, because long story short, Wendy manages to fight Aquaman for a while, but then she gets mind controlled by the dude. And then I think he can only focus on one person at a time.
Yeah.
And Aquaman's starting to kind of come free of it, because he's been trying to fight the mind control like pretty much the whole film. So, like, for those of you who are wondering, no, Aquaman is not a Nazi. He's being manipulated by the Nazis. So yeah, basically we get the Kraken and the giant enemy crab and the fucking stingray attacking the East Coast. And basically, the rest of the Justice Society, bar Diana and Barry, get there first, and they try their damnedest to fight them off. Meanwhile, Atlanteans are also coming out of the water with their fucking laser guns and shit. And so them and Steve Trevor are like, all right, let's kick some ass. Steve manages to steal like an alien or an Atlantean weapon and a tank.
God, boy, join the army. Fight Nazis. Fall in love with an Amazonian princess. Never say
you're
boy
ever again. And then you just start. No, and it's a really good like fight scene, because like you got like all of them like using their abilities really well.
Yeah.
Aside from the part where Aquaman or Hawkman gets stabbed by the fucking stingray and dies, which I'm like, thanks for that. I know he's not actually dead because of reincarnation bullshit, but
yeah,
still, that was really sad.
So yeah, we get this big knockout brawl between Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
My favorite part being near the end, like it looks like Aquaman has like Diana on the ropes basically. He's about to kill her. Steve fucking runs a fucking vehicle into him, and then he fucking whips out a Tommy gun. I'm like, fucking Steve brought some firepower to the party.
And then I think Diana snaps him out of it by snapping the trident, I think, which somehow breaks the mind control. And poor Aquaman's just like,
what the fuck did I do?
Oh no. And then he basically calls the Atlanteans all back. But unfortunately, while like this is going on, Black Canary kills the stingray by just screaming it to pieces. There's a weird continuity error here, because she pulls her mask off, but then like at the end of the movie she has the mask back on. I'm like, did you just put it back on?
She probably put it back on.
She probably put it back on. It was,
I don't think that was a good thing.
I just find it weird, because like the whole reason she took the mask off was because she was like, you know, taking away like the walls.
I know, but at the same time,
I
don't think that's a continuity error.
It might not be. I just found it kind of an odd like moment, because I was like, oh, she's like taking the mask off, and it's like a, you know, she's like finally like letting her walls down, and I was like, oh, she put it back on. Okay. Maybe, I guess not continuity error. I just found it odd, because I was like, but
yeah. And meanwhile, motherfucking Steve just dies.
Oh my god!
Gets stabbed in the back, and he's laying there dying.
Fucking.
I was like, oh,
that was one of the parts I hated. I was like, fucking why? Because it happened in the fucking 84. Like it happened in the live action films.
So he's lying there dying, and he finally gets Diana to accept his marriage proposal, and then he doesn't even get to put the ring on her, and he just dies. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Thanks for this sad shit.
And then I think Jay manages to kill the giant enemy crab by just filling its mouth with bombs so it explodes from the inside out. I forget what happens to the Kraken. No, I want to say Aquaman called it back.
He calls it back. He's like, no, get the fuck
go
back
in the ocean. Get the fuck back in the ocean. And everything else is done.
It's bad enough my diplomatic relations are fucked because of this.
I think Barry knocks out the wizard, because what else has Barry got to do? So he just pushes
and then all of a sudden motherfucking Superman comes up. I'm like, where the fuck were you?
First the German bombers and they're like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We're wiped.
America bombers, that's actual that's mystery. Look that up. That's Superman shit.
Well, no, and I love it because someone's like, look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. And of course, he can't fly in this because he's Golden Age man, so he leaps
in a single bound.
I actually wish that, like, while this was going on, they just played the faster than a speeding bullet,
the
more
powerful
thing. Yeah, more powerful than a locomotive, the ability to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
I wish there was an option for this movie where you could watch it in black and white.
Oh my god, that would have been so amazing. And he just rips the bombers apart with his bare fucking hands because he doesn't have laser vision or like any of like the cool powers. He's just
this is like straight up OG golden
gold
Superman.
Superman. So
Like,
he's
holy
just
fuck.
ripping these fuckers apart, and like
It's satisfying.
it's so satisfying because like you're like, oh, thank God Superman's here.
The only thing we're missing is Batman gunning down Nazis while Robin's belt feeding them.
Yeah,
the
no,
ammo.
that would have been amazing. Like they just had Golden Age Batman just being like,
Gunning motherfuckers down.
was the fucking 80-year-old looking Robin the way
I
they
don't kill, but for Nazis, I'll make
make
an exception.
The only thing that could have been better is fucking Joker coming out of here like,
Oh,
wait a
look
minute,
at them.
wait a minute, you're telling me that isn't some Halloween costume? Well, I may be a psychopath. I'm an American psychopath. Stand back, boys.
Still
This
one of-
one's mine.
This is still one of the funniest things is that.
Oh my God, that he doesn't
doesn't
that
work with
Joker don't
Nazis.
hang with Nazis.
It's the only good thing I'll ever say about him is he don't hang with Nazis.
Like, damn. But basically, and of course it ends. Barry gets to go home. He saves modern age Superman.
Brings up the idea of a Justice League.
Oh, they fucking flat out just murder Brainiac too. I think they rip him to pieces.
That motherfucker is dead.
I mean, granted, he's Brainiac, so he's just a robot. But like,
There's a new soundbite for the show. That motherfucker is dead.
Well, that motherfucker dead. What's the matter with you? I say he dead.
He dead.
But
Not even with an A. He D-E-D. Dead.
and so, Barry goes back to Iris, and Iris is like, "You were gone like 3 minutes." Yeah, I know, but I was like living a week. Which I want to say he says it's like a week, which I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a fucking long ass week.
I also want to say this. I forgot I can't believe I forgot to bring this up. The fucking titles. Looking
yeah.
like an OG 40s movie.
yeah,
I was like,
no.
oh, fuck
Both
yes.
for the beginning and the end credits. Or at least part of the end credits.
Superman in special cooperation with the Jerry
Jerry
Siegel
Siegel
family. I'm
family,
like, oh.
Yeah. But basically, Barry proposes to Iris using fucking Steve's ring, which I'm like,
Oh.
I know
I don't know.
Diana.
I don't know if that's cool or not.
I know Diana gave that to you, but I wouldn't have used that personally.
Yeah.
I just want Iris to be like, Barry, who's Diana? This ring is for my love, Diana.
I'll be right back.
He like uses super speed to fix it. What are you talking about, honey? It says Iris right here. Did you use super speed? I love you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I honestly say this is a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Well,
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 just because I'm like, obscure history shit. Oh, hell yes.
if only just because like as much as I love this film, I really hate how much they hammer home the you need to like actually like man up and marry Iris. Because you had to literally call this Barry Allen and the week where he punches Nazis and learns to quit being a little bitch.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a
Solid.
solid.
I would
film.
love a sequel that is just flat out them during World War II.
That would be nice.
Fighting people, because I would fucking pay for that.
Yeah.
Give me a Golden Age Superman cartoon that's like some Fleischer style shit.
God, that'd be so
I would
good.
pay money. I would pay some serious money. That'd be a day one release.
Whoever did this, they should do Superman Smashes the Klan. They should
would love that.
They should take that and they should just make that into a movie. Because I'd watch it.
They make one for the Batman, but it's like the cereal, but they
that'd
fix
be
the
so
cereal.
good.
They fix the fucking cereal so it's not racist.
They could just actually no, fuck that. They should just do the castle.
Oh my god!
The
yes.
castle of
I would with that cover.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they should just
with
do
the Mad Monk.
They should just do Batman the Mad Monk
I
with
would pay
this
money.
animation. Like,
Again, holy fuck! I'd be like, shut up and take my
yeah.
money.
If you want to keep doing Golden Age stuff, you do Batman the Mad Monk, whatever Superman story you know of, because I just don't know enough Golden Age Superman stories that they could do. Like, it would be amazing just to see them.
Shazam and the Monster
Oh
Society.
my god, they
evil.
should do Shazam and the Monster Society.
Again,
of Evil.
fix it so it's not racist.
Well, they could do like the more modern version that
Yeah.
they made later, like because they could just make it look like that and just do like the modern retelling of it. Like they don't have to. Although they should still end with the caterpillar getting fucking stuffed, because that's the best part of that.
Some wild shit from DC. So anyway, you're saying 8 out of 10. I'm saying 9 out of 10.
Yeah, if only just because I just think the morals a little bit too hammered in.
Yeah.
Like if it were a little bit more subtle, I probably would have ranked it up to a 9. Not like I said, some of the parts of the ending just kind of are weird. Like I could have done without Steve dying. I could have done without Hawkman dying. But as a whole, I still think it's really good. So I more think it's a 9 out of 10. It's just it has a few flaws that I can't completely say I completely admit, but I honestly, it's pretty close to a 9 if I were to say anything else. But yeah, look forward to when we do the long Halloween. We probably
because I'm waiting on that.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do both parts, but
They don't come out at the same time, so
Yeah,
we'll
they don't
probably
come
do
out.
both parts.
we although I don't know, I kind of want to do them both together because I want to get Lee in on it so we can have their opinion on it since we did the book with them. But
Have Leon for both parts.
I guess
There
we
we
could have
go.
Leon for both parts. I guess that's true. But anyways, guys, I think that's gonna really wrap up this episode. Bottom line, go out and get this. It's really, really good. It actually comes in both Blu-ray and 4K if you're really wanting to like see, because this would look really good in 4K.
I think this had a DVD too.
Yeah, it's not a DVD. That's what I
They're
bought.
starting to branch away from having the DVD packaged in.
Yeah, this is a Blu-ray with digital code. What episodes of Justice League are on this? If there are episodes
There's
of Justice
not.
League, oh, there's not. Oh, I actually used to love when they used to.
No.
Oh, they had a showcase short though. I didn't know that.
Kamandi, the last boy on Earth.
Fucking Kamandi. No, I'm sorry. If you're a comic book guy, like every single one of their crises, they've tried to fucking force Kamandi
Buy
into
it.
it.
They want you to buy
I'm
it.
like, I'm not gonna buy it because you keep trying to be like, this is the end of the DC universe. Is the fucking Animal Men? Like that was what fucking that was what fucking Final Crisis.
Kamandi's showing up and everything being like,
Oh my god.
I'm not fucking leaving.
No, fuck you. You didn't have to fucking sit through Kamandi at Earth's End and Superman at Earth's End. My god, those are so bad.
But anyway, guys, tune in next week for some more exciting content. But until then,
because next month is X month. I hope you didn't mind. I kind of went with that name because I thought that sounded really good. X month.
the good, the bad, and the Wolverine.
That works too.
That was our plan last.
That was our
episode.
plan?
That was our plan.
Shit.
Anyway, I'm Average Joe Squad,
And I'm Zon Gets in 134.
and as always,
We ask you
remember the hyphen.
and take care.